Hello everyone, I'm Chad K, and today I will be discussing the topic of anime, or anime. Each week I will cover a new topic. The aim of this podcast is to share fascinating facts about various subjects, all accompanied by calming, soothing music in the background. My hope is to help you unwind and enter a peaceful state of mind, or assist you in drifting off to sleep after a long day. So find a cozy spot or lie down, close your eyes if you would like, and immerse yourself in these relaxing facts. Anime, pronounced anime in the US, is from a shortening of the English word animation. It is a hand-drawn and computer-generated animation originating from Japan. Outside Japan and in English, anime refers specifically to animation produced in Japan. However, anime in Japan and in Japanese describes all animated works, regardless of style or origin. Many works of animation with a similar style to Japanese animation are also produced outside Japan. Video games sometimes also feature themes and art styles that are sometimes labeled as anime. The earliest commercial Japanese animation dates to 1917. A characteristic art style emerged in the 1960s with the works of cartoonist Osamu Tezuka and spread in the following decades, developing a large domestic audience. Anime is distributed theatrically through television broadcasts, directly to home media, and over the internet. In addition to original works, anime are often adaptations of Japanese comics called manga, light novels, or video games. It is classified into numerous genres, targeting various broad and niche audiences. Anime is a diverse medium with distinctive production methods that have adapted in response to new technology. It combines graphic art, characterization, cinematography, and other forms of imaginative and individualistic techniques. Compared to Western animation, anime production generally focuses less on movement and more on the detail of settings and use of camera effects, such as panning, zooming, and angle shots. Diverse art styles are used, and character proportions and features can be quite varied, with a common characteristic feature being large and emotive eyes. The anime industry consists of over 430 production companies, including major studios such as Studio Ghibli, Kyoto Animation, and Nippon Animation. Since the 1980s, the medium has also seen widespread international success with the rise of foreign dubbed, subtitled programming, and since the 2010s, due to the rise of streaming services and a widening demographic embrace of anime culture, both within Japan and worldwide. As of 2016, Japanese animation accounted for 60% of the world's animated television shows. As a type of animation, anime is an art form that comprises many genres found in other mediums. It is sometimes mistakenly classified as a genre itself. In Japanese, the term anime is used to refer to all animated works, regardless of style or origin. English language dictionaries typically define anime as a style of Japanese animation or as a style of animation originating in Japan. Other definitions are based on origin, making production in Japan a requisite for a work to be considered anime. Prior to the widespread use of anime, the term Japanimation was prevalent throughout the 1970s and 1980s. In the mid-1980s, the term anime began to supplant Japanimation in general. The latter term now only appears in period works where it is used to distinguish and identify Japanese animation. Imakimono and shadow plays, which are called kage-e, are considered precursors of Japanese animation. Imakimono was common in the 11th century. Traveling storytellers narrated legends and anecdotes while the imakimono was unrolled from the right to left in chronological order as a moving panorama. Kage-e was popular during the Edo period and originated from the shadow plays of China. Magic lanterns from the Netherlands were also popular in the 18th century. The paper play called Kamishibai surged in the 12th century and remained popular in the street theater until the 1930s. Puppets of the Bunraku theater and ukiyo-e prints are considered ancestors of characters of most Japanese animation. Finally, manga were a heavy inspiration for anime. Cartoonists Kitsusawa Rakuten and Okamoto Ippei used film elements in their strips. Animation in Japan began in the early 20th century when filmmakers started to experiment with techniques pioneered in France, Germany, the United States, and Russia. A claim for the earliest Japanese animation is Katsudo Shashin, around 1907. It is a private work by an unknown creator. In 1917, the first professional and publicly displayed works began to appear. Animators such as Oten Shimokawa, Seitaro Kitayama, and Junichi Kochi, considered the fathers of anime, produced numerous films, the oldest surviving of which is Kochi's Namakura Gatana. Many early works were lost with the destruction of Shimokawa's warehouse in the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake. Anime differs from other forms of animation by its art styles, methods of animation, its production, and its process. Visually, anime exhibits a wide variety of art styles, differing between creators, artists, and studios. While no single art style predominates anime as a whole, they do share some similar attributes in terms of animation technique and character design. Anime is fundamentally characterized by the use of limited animation, flat expression, the suspension of time, its thematic range, the presence of historical figures, its complex narrative line, and, above all, a peculiar drawing style, with characters characterized by large and oval eyes, with very defined lines, bright colors, and reduced movement of the lips. The body proportions of human anime characters tend to accurately reflect the proportions of the human body in reality. The height of the head is considered by the artist as the base unit of proportion. Head-to-weight ratios vary drastically by art style, with most anime characters falling between 5 and 8 heads tall. Anime artists occasionally make deliberate modifications to body proportions to produce chibi characters that feature a disproportionately small body compared to the head. Many chibi characters are 2 to 4 heads tall. Some anime works, like Crayon Shinchan, completely disregard these proportions in such a way that they resemble caricatured Western cartoons. A common anime character design convention is exaggerated eye size. The animation of characters with large eyes in anime can be traced back to Osamu Tezuka, who was deeply influenced by such early animation characters as Betty Boop, who was drawn with disproportionately large eyes. Tezuka is a central figure in anime and manga history, whose iconic art style and character designs allowed for the entire range of human emotions to be depicted solely through the eyes. The artist adds variable color shading to the eyes, and particularly to the cornea, to give them greater depth. Generally, a mixture of a light shade, the tone color, and a dark shade is used. However, not all anime characters have large eyes. For example, the works of Hayao Miyazaki are known for having realistically proportioned eyes, as well as realistic hair colors on their characters. Hair in anime is often unnaturally lively and colorful, or uniquely styled. The movement of hair in anime is exaggerated, and hair actions is used to emphasize the action and emotions of characters for added visual effect. Some anime will depict non-Japanese characters with specific ethnic features, such as a pronounced nose and jutting jaw for European characters. In other cases, anime feature characters whose race or nationality is not always defined, and this is often a deliberate decision, such as in the Pokémon animated series. Anime and manga artists often draw from a common canon of iconic facial expressions, illustrations, to denote particular moods and thoughts. These techniques are often different in form than their counterparts in Western animation, and they include a fixed iconic. It is used as shorthand for certain emotions and moods. For example, a male character may develop a nosebleed when aroused. A variety of visual symbols are employed, including sweat drops to depict nervousness, visible blushing for embarrassment, or glowing eyes for an intense glare. Another recurring sight gag is the use of chibi, which are deformed, simplified character designs, figures to comedically punctuate emotions like confusion or embarrassment. The opening and credits sequences of most anime television series are accompanied by J-pop or J-rock songs, often by reputed bands, as written with the series in mind, but are also aimed at the general music market. Therefore, they often allude only vaguely or not at all to the thematic settings or plot of the series. Also, they are often used as incidental music, called insert songs, in an episode in order to highlight particularly important scenes. And there you have it, a brief talk about anime. That wraps up my talk about anime for this week. If you enjoyed this episode of Relaxing Facts, please consider subscribing or leaving a comment. I hope your day is wonderful, whether you are unwinding after a busy day or just relaxing with some pleasant listening. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chad K, and I look forward to seeing you next time.